2022 officially in the past, I wanted to take a trip down memory lane and review everything I built last year. With that in mind, I created my top 10 builds of 2022 list and wanted to share it with y'all. All videos relevant to these top 10 builds will be linked in my description and in my pinned comment. Coming in at number 10 is this Japanese townhouse I built in my creative test world for a tutorial. At the time, I had just watched a YouTube video discussing how these machiyas were being renovated or demolished in Japan at an alarming rate. With that inspiration in mind, I wanted to try building it in Minecraft, which resulted in this build. I'm especially proud of it because I did the full interior for it as well. Number 9 is my cleaning lady store on Unorthoblocks Season 2. This build was made for my Iondis Evil arc, where I was attempting to get rich quick schemes and to prank my server mates at the same time. This was my first attempt at making a modernish storefront where I wanted to focus on iron ore blocks and the new mud bricks. I never did an interior for it as I got burnt out of Minecraft at the time, but I'm still proud of what I built. Number 8 is Big Daddy Golem, that I originally built to watch over Spiderheart's pillager base on Unorthoblocks Season 2 server. Spider then decided to move him to my base and include a picnic blanket, coffee, sunglasses, and a slight sunburn on his shoulders to show that he had retired from the job I had given him. 2022 was the year I decided to try rebuilding some of Minecraft mobs pixel by pixel, and I still love the way that they turned out, even though they were awfully time consuming to plan and to make. Number 7 is Ionco, my mega shop corporation on Unorthoblocks Season 2. I wanted to make a redstone megastore because I knew nobody likes making redstone items, and I figured it would be a surefire way to make tons of diamonds. And it did make me tons of diamonds. Between Draken's Mega Shop and Ionco, we were the 2 richest people on the server for Season 2. When I built it, I wanted again a more modern build, and I think I got it. Plus, it made me fall in love with using iron ore blocks as a building material. Number 6 is my house on Unorthoblocks Season 2. Again, I was still on a modern building kick at the time and wanted something a little more rustic mixed into it, so I built this house. I used so many coal blocks that I had to have several mining sessions just to get the amount of coal I needed to make the blocks. Same thing with the iron ore blocks, but at least those appear in ore veins. My favorite part of this build was how I decorated the interior, my classic car, and the haunted garage that ended up summoning Iondis. Number 5 is my tower build that I made for Draken's Tower quest on Unorthoblocks Season 2. Draken wanted 4 of us to build 4 towers in the 4 corners of the server, about 5,000 blocks out in each direction. This one now looks like a weird egg to me, but I do still love the shape that I made with it and the simplicity of the build. I wish I could have done a bit more landscaping on the exterior though to make it make more sense with the environment. Number 4 is my farm that I've been working on for the past few months in my single player world. I've been working on this farm on and off for a few months now. First having to level a hill where the tomato, pumpkin, and melon farms are, then having to landscape the surrounding area, which I still am working tirelessly on. I've always loved building farms in Minecraft, and this is definitely my favorite farm I've done so far. Before I get into my top 3 builds of 2022, consider leaving a like or even subscribe to see more nonsense that I get into and more builds that I will make in 2023. Number 3 is Nigel. He, again, was made as a prank for Spiderhearts' pillager base on Unorthoblock Season 2. As I figured they would want a mascot since they are pillagers and all, Nigel was made at the same time that many Unorthoblocks members began to obsessively spam Nigel Thornberry gifts in our Discord. So much so that this Ravager build of mine was also given a large nose, and he has been known as Nigel. Later, he got pranked by Bex, who had since given him the Nigel Thornberry mask to fully complete his transformation into him. He's also since been moved to look over our spawn town so that Spider could add more builds to her base. Number 2 is my Nether Hub on Unorthoblocks Season 2. As soon as we had mentioned wanting to do Nether Hubs on the roof of the Nether as domes, similar to the domes that you see in any games for simulating life on Mars, I knew I wanted to do something extremely huge. I was also playing Raft at the time, and one of the main story areas was a floating city in a dome with a weird control tower on top, hence this design. It took me a couple of weeks of planning in a creative mode to get a design that I liked, and then about 12-ish hours to build it on the server. Finally coming in at number 1 is my giant aqueduct in my single player world. At the time, I had been playing lots of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where you can see remnants of old Roman architecture around England. So the idea of an aqueduct came to mind pretty quickly. At first I thought of building it along the hills behind the forum, however I then changed it to where it is now as the farmlands would have needed water more, and I'm going to build more houses closer to that side of the river. I also need to give major props to Minku and Amon on Low Res Bones Discord for their support and encouragement to build it. Do you agree with my top 10? How would you reorder it if you had to choose what my top 10 builds of last year would be? Let me know down in the comments. I can't wait to see what I build in the year 2023, and hopefully y'all will stick around to see my next top 10 builds next year.